archaeologists. I'm the Johnstruct. I've had a very busy weekend, but I'm going to play some Alan Wake. That is to say, farewell, Snell. I'm having an Alan Wake remastered adventure. Gotta say the correct words in the correct order, otherwise, what are we even doing here? Let's start a new episode. Episode 2. Taken. Not sure why I went from this menu, but this is the menu I don't know, let's just press the continue button instead.
Previously on Alan Wake. I came to Bright Falls with my wife, Alice.
Thank you for coming here with me. I thought maybe you could write here.
I don't want to hear it! God damn it, Alice!
Now, she's missing.
Alice? Alice?
I woke up behind the wheel of a crashed car. I'm missing a week. I was attacked by shadowy men straight from a nightmare. The sheriff took me to the lake Alice and I had stayed at, but the cabin had disappeared.
Episode 2. Taken. There's a little bit of light there, but it's just a little dot. Just a little dot. It's got his groceries. He's back at home in his apartment.
Honey, I'm home.
Ooh.
Back here, sweetie. How was it?
This is Alan Wake's
Worst
story,
weather I've ever seen.
told from his perspective and his point of view. And at the same time, Alice is a hugely important character. She has very little screen time, but the scenes we have Wake together with Alice, we learn a lot about Wake as a character. And Alice remains as his motivation through the whole experience. Do we actually clearly get to see Alice as a person, or are we seeing the version of Alice that Alan Wake sees or thinks she is? Because he is very much wrapped around his own struggle, his own flaws and thoughts.
Yes, I mean, I feel like he's put it that way, but it kind of feels like Alice didn't really get developed very well in this game. But there's Alan's jacket we can see with the arm pads, making him look like one of those teachers. Look at the fucking weather. What does this say? It says building maintenance will need access to your unit between the times to replace the filters. Ah, well, I'm glad Parliament Tower. I read that. Was it this sort of weather where he wrote Alex Casey? I'm doing that, yeah, I'm having a look around. This is inspiration. This is a nice apartment. Big.
Hey, handsome. This is gonna be a long night, but these shots are turning out great.
I guess you're gonna need that coffee then. I'll go put it on.
There's the shots. The photographs. Let me in this door. Secret door contains sequence.
It's true what they say about the fall and the sudden stop at the end. I'd lain here in the snow while the lurid chain of scenes that had led me here kept playing in my head. A rerun of my own private snuff movie. A memory of my corpse. Alone at my own wake. Thinking in metaphors again. The femme fatale was gone. Only a sour taste remained of the kiss that killed me. This was a late goodbye. 13 years after I'd gotten my revenge, it had finally caught up with me. It had been a long time to bear the pain. My blood painted the snow red. A gruesome slushy dissolved all the scattered painkillers and leisurely dripped down to the sewer, mingling with the bile of the city, becoming one with it. I can see them now. my wife, and my baby. Honey, I'm home.
Press the wrong button there. Alan Wake, The Sudden Stop. Let's have a look at the other books. We have The Fall of Casey, an Alex Casey thriller. The Things That I Want, an Alex Casey thriller. Well, I'm sort of covering it now, aren't I? Alex Casey, an Alex Casey thriller. What I Can't Forget, an Alex Casey thriller. And Return to Sender, an Alex Casey thriller. Let's put myself back on that. Getting a QR code, probably for control. What's making that noise? Why are there fucking guns here? Let's put the coffee on. He likes his coffee.
Coffee's on.
Great, thanks. I'll need it if I'm gonna finish this by tomorrow.
I've got my cup of tea. I hope you have a delicious beverage as well. CZ. Go to Alice. Thanks, game. Double fridge. How much food do the two of you need? I bought myself... Oh, the door. Sorry, I've not had doors for very long in this room.
I just finished those cover mock-ups. They're on your desk. Tell me what you think.
I was just at my desk.
I didn't think you'd get them done this quickly. These look really good.
Oh, sure, until Barry gets his hands on them. Which, by the way, will happen over my dead body. The last time was the last time. Oh, and speaking of Barry, he called. Alan? Alan, please check the fuse box.
I'm right here. I'm on it, honey.
Please hurry!
Use fuse box.
Honey, it's a power outage. I've got the flashlight.
Hi, okay.
You okay?
I'm sorry. It just really spooked me.
Don't worry. We'll just break out the candles.
I know it's stupid, but it's just... Especially when I'm not prepared for it, you know? It gets to me.
I love you.
Tell me a story, writer.
Okay. I used to have these nightmares when I was a kid. The dark really spooked me, too. When it got really bad, my mom gave me this old light switch. She called it the clicker.
The clicker, huh?
Yeah. If I ever got scared of the dark, I could just flip the switch and a magic light would scare the monsters away.
Oh, sure.
Here it is.
Alan.
Maybe it'll help you, too.
Yeah, nice story, writer boy. You made that up right now, didn't you?
No. Seriously.
I love you, even if you are a liar. Thanks for this.
Somewhere on the other street, Fahrenheit's happening at the same time. Back in the present day.
How do you feel, Mr. Wake? Any nausea, disorientation, anything like that? Mr. Wake, how are you feeling?
Not great.
I'm okay. My head's fine. I had to lie about my headache and memory loss. He'd send me to a hospital for tests. I couldn't leave without Alice.
Very well. I don't think you have a concussion, but you've obviously been through quite a shock. You should take it easy for a couple of days.
Thanks.
Well then, Mr. Wake, we're done here. If the pain gets any worse or you experience any other symptoms, you should come see me. I'll let you get on with it then. Sarah, Sheriff Breaker, is waiting for you. She's very good at her job. I'm sure she can locate your wife in no time.
Doc Nelson was the image of a small-town doctor. Sheriff Breaker had called him to the station to take a look at the cut in my head.
Okay, so I guess this is a spoiler, but I'm going to say it anyway because I want to discuss it, and this is an old game. It's eventually going to be revealed that there's a, like, council of, like...
I believe you'll find the sheriff in her office. Just go down the corridor.
There are folks that notice the spooky goings on in the town, led by Old Man Breaker. And I'm assuming literally every old man I see is in the council.
You're good to go, Mr. Wake. Sarah's probably waiting for a chance to talk.
They don't actually have a massive presence in the story or anything, so it's not like a really critical story beat. Oh, hello, Craig. It's more of a reference to Twin Peaks because it also exists in Twin Peaks that there's the secret cabal of like 4 people that notice that there's weird shit going on in the woods. And it's, again, one of those things that just I didn't know was a reference because nobody ever fucking mentions it. Like, there's a list of references and it's not on there. And they quote, like, it's not like a subtle reference either. They quote a line from Twin Peaks, talking about the dark presence in the woods. The name of the villain in this game is a Twin Peaks line.
I'm sorry you had to cut your morning fishing short for this, Doc.
Oh, she's a beauty, ain't she? Not the biggest I ever caught, if you can believe that coming from an old fisherman like me, but she's right up there. Now, she's a largemouth bass, which is what you're after if you prefer a lure. Now, if you want either trout or salmon, on the other hand, then it's fly fishing for you. You a fishing man, Mr. Wake? Oh, doesn't really matter, I suppose. But it can be very relaxing out there. You can't get me off the water this time of year. Closest thing to heaven.
I'll take your word for it, Doc.
But I don't actually know what they know. I can't quite remember. Because there's only one person who's, like, really prepared for the darkness, and it's the
sheriff wanted to see you in her office.
The lady with the light switch. Who's actually actively doing stuff, and the Old Man Breaker isn't working with her, I know that. I'm just gonna see if I can get rid of that Wispy Woo. I think it's a bit better. Oh, did it just immediately come back? That's... That seemed to have worked. Whatever, we'll take it. Right, we have to talk to Sarah. Yeah, I would have liked to have done more gaming this weekend. I was quite busy Friday and Saturday. Oh, speaking of.
Thank you for testing the lights, Miss Weaver. Everything seems to be fine.
I don't have the luxury of being complacent, Deputy Grant. The bulbs will need changing soon. You can't change them in the dark.
I'll be sure to take care of it, Miss Weaver. Have a nice day now.
Very good. I'll come back later on to remind you, just in case.
Mr. Wake, the sheriff is waiting for you in her office down the corridor. That was Cynthia Weaver. I guess you can call her the town eccentric. She used to be the editor of the local newspaper, but she's focused on, other things these days.
She'd fit right in where I come from.
As you can see, she's a little obsessed with maintaining the light bulbs of the whole town, refuses to step on shadows, things like that. Back in her day, she wrote about all sorts of weird things in the paper. Bright Falls has a colorful history. Of course, what small town hasn't?
Yeah, it's Mulligan here. I'm at Stucky's gas station with Thornton. There's no sign of him. Over.
Wait. Yeah, this is Thornton. Look, we've located the brake float. It's here. That's some good news, right? Stucky was supposed to be driving it at the rehearsals today. Over.
Oh, give me that. Mulligan here. Looks like someone really thrashed the garage. Over.
Okay, roger that, guys. Keep looking for Stucky. Jane's out.
Okay, there we go. Oh. Wouldn't want to miss that.
Alice looked through the viewfinder, lining up the shot. Cauldron Lake was breathtaking. Something caught her eye. A figure standing in the shadows behind the cabin, like a thin woman in a black dress. She lowered the camera and looked again. No one there. Just a collection of bushes that looked vaguely human-shaped. She shook her head and laughed.
The jump scares don't work quite as well written down.
The sheriff wants to see you in her office, Mr. Wake.
Oh no, this cat's missing. Oh. Missing Richard Bowe, Bruce Stansky, and Jacob Miller. On a camping trip overdue, haven't been in contact. If you've seen them or know their whereabouts, call this number. Well, I'll keep a lookout for them. Have you seen this man? He's got a knack for winning contests. And this cat. Oh, I thought this is where I was actually supposed to go. Oh look, well we know where the break, if there's a power cut, we know where to go.
Come in, Mr. Wake. Your phone's on the desk. The battery was dead. It's charged now.
Well, let's have a look on the map. It's Cauldron Lake.
Your phone, Mr. Wake?
It's Bright Falls. Not to be confused with Night Springs. Well, I was having a look at the map, Baker.
Make sure you don't forget your phone.
Have you started looking for my wife yet?
My men are already on it. Now, can you tell me what happened?
I'm not sure. I can't remember. We were arguing. I walked out of the cabin.
The cabin on Cauldron Lake? How did you end up at Stucky's gas station?
I wanted to tell her what had happened last night, but I couldn't. She'd lock me up. Excuse me. I need to take this. Hello?
Alan, please help me.
Alice?
Stop talking to the law. You'll do exactly what I say if you ever want to see your wife again.
Who is this?
Go to the back lot. There's a hole in the fence on the left. Look inside the junker. I left a little something there to convince you we're all on the same page here. After you ditch the cops, you're gonna meet me in Elderwood National Park. There's a spot called Lover's Peak. Midnight. Don't do nothing stupid, pal. We're watching you.
So one of the comics is about that particular guy. It's set Well, I would say it's set later in the plot. Are we going to climb out the window? Go to the back lot? No, that would be crazy. We'll just...
Mr. Wake, can I help you with anything?
I need to get some air. The sheriff said I could go out back.
Of course, Mr. Wake. You can get there through the cell corridor. Just don't mind Walter in there. He's one of our regulars.
I thought he quit drinking for good.
I'm really...
Oh, no such luck. He went on a bender and beat Danny pretty badly. He started shouting like that the moment he woke up. You can get to the back lot through that door and down the corridor, Mr. Wake.
He's extremely patient. Oh, he actually says, huh.
Hey, can you turn the lights on? The deputies, they don't understand. They won't listen to me. I need it to be bright in here.
I'm interested to see what influences the Alan Wake 2, because obviously they've got the third series of Twin Peaks, but like I think Midsummer was one of the inspirations. I've not actually seen.
You're a good guy. Don't let anybody tell you different. You know, I shouldn't even be in here. The cops, they got it all wrong. See, sure, I beat him up, but I wasn't drunk. I mean, I wasn't drunk at the time. I only got drunk afterward. Okay, listen, you gotta listen carefully now. Here's the kicker. That wasn't Danny. No, sir. It only looked like him. You wanna know who it really was? I'll tell you who it really was. It was a goddamn space alien! I know it sounds like something a drunk would say, but believe me, I wasn't drunk then.
You sound like the guy from BoJack Horseman. This is about Nightingale, isn't it?
In spite of its human mask, to describe the dark presence as intelligent would have implied human qualities on something decidedly inhuman. Nonetheless, it found the one spot in the diner that was dark enough. Some light spilled into the corridor, ravaging it. But it took the pain. Horrible as it was, the writer would soon fix that. He would be coming to the one place where it still had power.
Nope, I was wrong about that.
The early morning light hurt my eyes and made my head ache. The man on the phone had said, "Go through the fence on the left."
Well, folks, it's been another long night, and it's about time for me to sign off for a while. God knows I need my beauty sleep. Just one more item before I go. It's been a busy night for the Sheriff's Department. We've had a few broken windows, even a report of shots fired on Main Street. Deputies Mulligan and Thornton had to deal with two intoxicated young men who were celebrating the completion of their Deer Fest float. Now, folks, we get this every year. I know it's exciting that the big day's almost here, but let's save it for the party and leave the gunplay for the shooting competition, huh? There's no point in getting all worked up yet.
So Tom Main is definitely one of the people that knows about the strange goings on. The dark presence in the woods.
The caller had told me to find a hole in the fence behind the police station. There was something for me in an abandoned car.
You know what? This game does, and I don't know why other games don't do. So, obviously, it became really popular to do System Shock style recordings, right? You go into people's rooms and you find a piece of paper or a recording that says, I died in mysterious circumstances, here's the code to the door. But like, why don't people do like radio shows and stuff like this and the TV programs. Why is it only Alan Wake that does that? There must be more examples, but like more thematic tapes, essentially, rather than just strictly storytelling. Like I'm trying to think of like Fallout. Surely, like, because Fallout at least is music, right? I'm not that familiar with the Fallouts after 2. I know 1 and 2. Okay, I know I have to go over there, but like I don't know. I don't know how. Oh, I can jump. Bloody destroyed that.
The kidnapper fired his gun one last time, and the shadow vanished into the darkness it had come from. See? Nothing to it, Wake. The thought of Alice in his hands was revolting. We stood on the wooden platform of Lover's Peak, the waterfall on the mountain behind us, the lights of the radio mast blinking red in the heights above. I fought with the urge to take a swing, force myself to speak. Let's cut the act now. Where's my wife? Alice's driver's license had been placed on the front seat. The caller meant business. Barry?
Ow! Ow! Thank God! Where the hell have you been? I've been trying to reach you for a week, you and Alice. I've been worried sick. I flew out yesterday. I'm here in Bright Falls.
Barry, listen to me. I'm at the sheriff's station. Come and get me. I can't talk now.
Ow! What the hell is going on?
I had to get the sheriff to let me go. I needed to get to Elderwood National Park to meet Alice's kidnappers.
Do I just go out here? Okay. Doop-a-doop-a-doo.
A writer is a light that reveals the world of his story from darkness, shapes it from nothingness. The way a sculptor carves a statue from a block of granite. If I stop, the world I'm making dies. Darkness will reclaim it. It's a long, hard journey into the dark. Alice's life is at stake, but I can't think about that, or I'll lose it. The dread lingers at the edge of perception. I'll push on. Anything is possible here. I'll write the story. I'll save her.
Dude is asleep.
Marvelous, Sarah. I just wanted to settle all the damage the Anderson brothers might have inadvertently caused on their recent and regrettable little outing. They are not accountable for their actions, of course. I can assure you that my staff has been reprimanded.
Tor and Odin never caused any trouble to anyone when they were still living at their farm.
Indeed. All we can do is to slow down the progress of their dementia.
Are you feeling any better, Mr. Wake?
I'd like to leave. Am I free to go?
Well, we still need to talk about...
Am I under arrest?
No, of course not. But I need to know where you'll be staying so I can get in touch with you.
I'd avoid the motel. The Majestic is known for its roaches. The cabins at Elderwood are pretty nice, though.
That sounds perfect.
I'm Dr. Emil Hartman. I'd like to invite you to stay at Cauldron Lake Lodge.
Did you talk to my wife?
I had the pleasure of discussing your situation with her on several occasions.
Did you set something up with her?
I invited her here. My clinic is a place where...
Oh, hey! Oh my! Take it easy.
You can't just commit crimes in front of police officers, Alan.
Hey, nobody move. Get your hands off of my client.
Who are you?
I'm Barry Wheeler, his agent. If you have business with Mr. Wake, you talk to me. You yokels won't know what hit you once I sick my lawyers on your asses.
No harm done, Sarah. I'm all right. I don't want to press charges. Mr. Wake, my offer still stands.
He deserves that punch.
Get me out of here.
What the hell was that about, Al? we don't need a replay of that thing with the paparazzi. I thought they were gonna lock you up.
Yeah, I mean...
I had to talk to someone. I told Barry everything. He thought I was certifiable, but when he heard about the manuscript, I had him. The fact that I'd written something, even if I couldn't remember it, was enough for him. He smelled money. And he believed that Alice had been kidnapped. Anything beyond that was another story. I had a midnight appointment with the kidnapper in a place called Lover's Peak, somewhere in Elderwood National Park. The plan was to rent a cabin.
I don't like it, Al. I don't like any of it. It's not good. In fact, it's the absolute opposite of good.
I like Barry's new model.
Barry, you found him.
Hi, Rose.
Oh, wow. I was just
Okay,
thinking about you, too.
I was about to say I like Barry, but...
I was just bringing Rusty some coffee. He's on the balcony, looking after Max. Poor thing. I really need to go. Great to see you again, Mr. Wake. Later.
I think he's a well-realized character, if that makes any sense.
Max.
But yeah,
Jeez, Mr. Takes a swing at everybody. This is not her fault. She's a very nice girl, and more importantly,
I'm a Finn, so I was born in Finland and have lived here all my life. At the same time, I've been pretty much raised with American popular culture, comic books, TV, movies, books, and it is a huge part of the inspiration, but it's always felt like, you know, this kind of a unique perspective of using that inspiration, but being outside and looking in, and that gives us a unique perspective.
yeah, I'd say that's true. What was I going to say? Yeah, I can't, like, I keep tiptoeing around spoilers, but, like, Dr. Hartman's, like, a boss in the Control game, so, like, there's only so much that I can, like, not spoil, because it's... Yeah. I mean, he's the final boss of Control, technically speaking. This is the Colombian mammoth. I don't think it's relevant to the plot, so I'm not going to read this. I'll tell you what, though. I will, because maybe Bucktooth Mammoth Charlie turns up in the sequel. Who knows? A specimen estimated to be 14,000 years old was recovered from La Brea tar pits in 1981. I think it's La Brea, but in Cornwall that's pronounced Bray. We have a Carn Bray, which is a hill. It's and a little castle on a hill, but like it's the name of the hill. I'm pretty sure, technically speaking. I think people know them as cairns because that's what they're called in Scotland. But they're called cairns down in Cornwall. It was donated to the Elderwood National Park in 1998 when the Colombian mammoth became Washington's state fossil, named Bucktooth Charlie. It's since become the park's official mascot. You know what? It probably is relevant in some way. I'm curious as to what, how, but...
Seriously, Al, what you were saying in the car, just listen to yourself.
Or maybe they just had a bunch of ideas that wasn't realised. Because look at all... One of the problems with this game is there's just like, there's not a lot of enemies in it. It's like 90% dudes. And look at all these monsters that could have been in there.
What, you shot a guy and his body just disappeared? When was the last time you slept? What, are you high? Have you been drinking?
No! Look, Barry, I'm missing a week, and someone's got Alice, and everything's just...
Do you understand what it sounds like when you say stuff like that? Don't get me wrong, it's a good story, could be a bestseller. But when you start confusing fiction with reality, you're buying yourself a ticket to the funny farm.
Wait here.
It's Grizzly Bear. Oh, if not friend, why friend-shaped? Look at the big stuffer. Garlic and vinegar. Gummy yummies. Was that Max outside? Max. I was going to try and quote Max Payne. My dearest old friend. No, I'm shit remembering quotes.
Easy there, boy.
Oh.
I'm almost done.
Hey, Rusty, right? You rent cabins.
Oh, Mr. Wake. I'd shake your hand, but mine are kind of full here. Actually, I'm sorry about this. Would you mind grabbing the registration form from the desk? It's just across from Bucktooth Charlie.
Okay, sure.
Seriously, Al, you can't just go and meet a kidnapper. Those situations always end up in disaster. You gotta talk to the cops.
She's my wife, and it's my call. Can we talk about this later?
No, this whole thing... Listen, you hit your head. I mean, geez, Al, come on. You gotta understand how crazy all this sounds. If you're trying to pull a joke on me, freak me out, it's working. Ha ha, let's have a laugh on Barry. Well, you had me going there real funny, Al. You can quit it now.
Quit it now. Damn. I hope you like woods, because we're going to spend the next 2 hours in them.
I think this is the form you wanted.
And here are the keys. Okay, you're all set, Mr. Wake. Glad to have you staying here.
I mean, the last guy that gave me keys.
Tell me how to get to Lover's Peak.
Oh, sure. It's at the end of the nature trail. Just follow the paths, you'll get to it eventually. It's an easy walk. Nice spot, too. If you have any trouble finding it, just keep your eyes on the radio mast. It's right below that.
Okay.
Look, Al, you're asking me to believe that you shot a dude who went poof into thin air, a guy who was bulletproof until you pointed a flashlight at him. You hear that from people who end up spending time in padded rooms, strapped to their beds, wearing white shirts with too long tangled up sleeves, and eating a healthy diet of pills.
Yeah, that's how the haunting ended.
Jokes about people who believe that kind of stuff. You're the skeptic. You gave me an hour-long lecture on homeopathy last month. What was it? If there's no proof, it's pure bullshit. Period.
Guess the laugh's on me then.
Al, come on. I mean, okay, maybe.
Isn't it pronounced homeopathy?
Okay.
Not homeopathy.
Vote of confidence.
All I'm saying is you gotta throw me.
Oh no, I didn't realize the dialogue would end.
That's just crazy talk, Al. Al? We should go to the sheriff or call the FBI.
Damn it, Barry, they'll kill her. This is not a goddamn debate, Barry. I'm going to Lover's Peak. He said to come alone.
Okay then. I understand. You're my best friend, and I'm worried that you're not right in the head. Tell me what to do to help, and I'll do it.
You stay here, and if I'm not back by morning, call the cavalry.
Just be careful with the natives, Al. These yokels are dangerous. Everybody hates a tourist, or it'll be Deliverance all over again.
I've not seen Deliverance.
Bless you.
It's
Kill me. I'll bet there's mold in here, spores, poison ivy, God knows what.
Oh, I'm trying to think of the cowboy.
Being a Finn and having lived here all my life, the culture is very much part of me, and you know, can't help but to bring in elements of it into
There we go.
my writing. And I think that can be seen in the stories of Remedy games, even starting from the original Max Payne. I mean, there was this huge winter storm that was part of the setting of that game. And it's in other games as well.
Where you point that thing, Al?
So I'm a little bit distracted because I watched Charlie the Unicorn today. I didn't realize there was a final episode, and so like in my head is currently I am a millipede, I am amazing, and it's like not relevant to anything, but it's just like running in my head. That's not even from the final episode, but I watched the entire series because why wouldn't I? It's been a while.
Real funny, Al. Real funny. Ha ha! Thank you. I'll just sit here in the dark till you come back, or until I get eaten by a grue.
Although what I do like this place, it's nice and big. I don't like places that have the front room and the kitchen all in one area. Fucking lived in a place like that for 10 years and then a couple of years before that. So I'm really, really, really happy that, like, as old and crumbly as this place is, there's a door. There's a door and then there's a kitchen. There's a stupid kitchen that has stairs in, and it's tiny, and I legally don't have space for a cooker, but there's a door. Also, I bought a new fridge. It turns out the fridge is really quiet anyway, because I just had a really crappy fridge. You don't hold down the fort, you hold the fort. The fort is not going to float away. You hold a fort because people invade it. Well, well, well. Have I ever seen a well? Surely. Oh, there we go. Do I care about the thermoses? No, I don't, but I'm going to grab it anyway. I wish there was a cheat that would let us get all the manuscripts. I can't bother to play on hard, but I do want all the manuscripts. Speaking of...
Barry had never gotten along with Alice, but he knew Alan loved her with an almost frightening intensity. And now something had happened.
Like Macho Man.
And here was Al
and Elizabeth.
And saying things people got put in padded cells for. It was as if his friend had experienced a massive psychotic episode and was now totally disconnected from reality. It scared the shit out of Barry.
Imagine reading a book that actually had only that much writing on each page.
Barry had the keys to the car he rented. Wasn't a long walk to the visitor center, and it wouldn't be any use to me in the forest. I knew I should have gone to the cops. This wasn't the smartest thing I'd ever done, but I was still angry with Barry for trying to talk me out of it. These people had called me right in the sheriff's station. The cops wouldn't scare them, and they had Alice.
So, yeah, you get a bit of backstory on the kidnapper, and he's like, Rusty from, what do you call it, King of the Hill. He's like, he's really into, like, conspiracy theories, like, he would have been an anti-vaxxer had that been a thing when this game came out. One of those people. Yeah, certainly would not have worn a mask during the pandemic. Just coming in here, still near stuff.
Welcome back to the show, folks. As promised, our very own Dr. Nelson has just parked his rear end in the studio. Doc, what's your Deerfest plan like?
My plan? You make it sound a lot more organized than I ever seem to manage. No plan, really. Just taking the atmosphere. I'm getting a little too rickety to do much more than that, you know.
Oh, tell me about it. No sack race for us older gentlemen, huh?
Yes, exactly, Pat. But I'm going to check out the parade, of course. And I'll be one of the pie contest judges, too.
Well, that takes a different kind of constitution.
Oh, yeah. It's my kind of exercise.
Now, Doc, seriously, you're in pretty good shape, though. You're the outdoors type. I know for a fact you're an avid fisherman.
That's right. Matter of fact, just caught a heck of a large
Yeah, true.
early this morning.
But you're not taking part in the fishing contest?
No, not this year. See, Pat, I'm just not that competitive anymore. Now I just like to take my time and enjoy the peace of it. It's no fun if I need to worry about what I'm catching, you know?
Well, considering your track record, the participants are probably pretty happy you feel that way.
Well, Pat, that's kind of you to say.
Song's playing. The light. It's probably a good idea to walk towards the light. And so I shall. World's got a case of the rumblies. Look at this tire swing. There's a river. Oh, the light got switched off. Well, there's another place for us to... oh, look, there's Moonshine Cave, Lover's Peak, and the Nature Trail. One of those caravans. Like, that caravan probably has more kitchen space than my kitchen. Farewell, birds. Okay, I want to do a lot, like, I'm going to run out of time, so I'm going to, next week, I want to do a lot more gaming. Night Springs.
Crime and punishment. The cancer and cure of civilization. But some crimes are impossible to punish, especially in Night Springs. Tonight's episode, The Man in the Mirror.
He's inside, Agent. He's a weird one.
So, you're confessing to killing that guy, huh? Why?
Had it coming?
Yeah, but why would you do that? I mean, you're a nice guy. Normal. Took a kid to a soccer game. So how come at the game, you pick a guy and, quoting from the arresting officer's report here, assault the victim's head area repeatedly with the weapon of choice being a pair of bare fists? Wow, that sentence really flows, huh? Maybe you're not the literary type. Okay, so you mess him up. But why? Who was that guy? We couldn't ID him. Why would a guy like you do him like that?
I didn't like his face?
Well, you must have hated it, because you really went to town there. I mean, there's no way to tell what he looked like. No ID on him either.
That must be difficult.
But then we ran the fingerprints. Got a match. Your prints. Identical.
Huh, how about that?
Your son said you were wearing a white shirt when you took him to the game. Like the white shirt is on the dead guy.
It's plenty red now.
You won't get away with this.
Do you really think that's in any way relevant to me? I had plenty of time to talk to my boy before the cops arrived, you know? He won't stop screaming, am I right? You think he's ever gonna be okay? I left my mark. Believe me.
You bastard.
What? You gonna shoot me? What's the point? I'm going to prison. You got me.
I don't understand any of this.
And you never will. Don't worry. Maybe you'll see me again, Agent. Maybe in the mirror.
My God. The scary door. So yeah, Alan Wake is also one of the writers for Night Springs. There's also the silly episodes in Max Payne. I've forgotten what the series is called. But there's a character called John Mirror. Because mirrors are more fun than television. Is it the pink flamingo? Well, there's the nature walk. Do we want to go up there first then? No, but it won't be, it's just another cabin, isn't it? We do want to go up there first though, because there might be stuff. We're not here to speed run this game, we're here to enjoy ourselves. Soak in everything.
Rose knew that Rusty was in love with her, and she liked him too. She liked him a lot. He taught her to dance, and life had certainly taught her the value of a man who was gentle. He treated her well, made her smile, made her feel good. But Rusty wasn't the prince of her dreams, and that tended to underline the unbearable truth. She was no closer to that Hollywood magic than he was.
Oh. Rusty's the guy with the vet, right? I was warned about the sheer drop. Did Alan always have a health bar? So I wasn't expecting that to actually hurt him. Oh.
The vision left me weak. This was no head injury.
Rusty, hang on! I'm coming! Please, help me!
No, Rusty! I know a bit of your backstory! No! Do I have a run button? I do! I'm coming slightly faster now!
Can you hear me? Anyone? Please, help! Back here. I'm back here.
Mr. Wake?
Oh, hell.
It happened just the way it was on that page. I found. Came true. It knew. So dark. It'll come back for me. You must. The lights. In the office. I have the key.
Okay, Rusty. Hang on. I'll be right back. Whatever did this couldn't be far. Rusty had found a page from the manuscript. It would help me understand what had happened.
You okay, Max?
Good boy.
Oh, the fuck? Just walked into the corner of the wall. I mean, it would hurt, but like I wasn't expecting the computer game to notice that. Get the lights on. You know what? I literally said, "Oh, no, there's the please. I'll know to come back here later." And then I've forgotten where he is. It is in the kitchen, isn't it? Nope, is it outside? No. Charlie! Oh no, not the bear. Is it outside?
The only way to make sure that Rusty was safe was to get the power running and the lights back on.
Okay, Alan, he's already said that he's read the page and he's gonna come back for him. But
The visitor center was sturdy, but the impact turned the front of the building into splinters. Rusty was thrown across the lobby like a rag doll and hit the far wall hard. It didn't hurt until he tried to move and saw his leg bend the wrong way, felt the broken ribs stabbing him on the inside. Rusty howled in pain and fear, suddenly afraid to die alone. At the last instant, I changed direction and threw myself down. The axe splintered the trunk of a tree. I stumbled into the pool of bright light. My lungs burned. I was too exhausted to move. I tensed as I waited for the killing blow, but it never came. I raised my head. Nothing moved in the darkness beyond. For the moment, bathed in the cold light, I was safe.
There we go.
I was too late. Someone had destroyed the circuit breaker. There was no way to get the lights back on.
Not Rusty!
The ground was covered with oily patches that looked like liquid darkness.
How did that other guy die?
Something had torn a mammoth-sized hole in the wall.
Yep, it wasn't you.
Please don't feed the animals.
Fishing is only permitted for those visitors who purchase a park fishing license.
No.
Obey. At all times. Rusty? Rusty, no! Never. Two bears and wolves never approached any other. Look closer than 25 years. Pets must be leashed. Never leave your pet unattended.
God. So, I was thinking, like, what would John do if John was turned into a Taken? What would be my, like, generic, like, you know, what would be the dialogue?
This includes even rocks. You obey. Or even simple berries.
And it'd be me talking about One Piece and stuff. Maybe I can just leave. I'm sorry, Rusty. Oops. I believe it's in this direction. Oops. Oh, I get there. I probably go through the back. Oops. I'm hoping the checkpoint is close. If you're unsure... Oh god. God damn it.
Rusty!
No, not Rusty.
The ground was covered with oily patches that looked like liquid darkness.
Oh no, what about Max?
I just need hunting licenses.
Something had torn a mammoth-sized hole in the wall.
Please don't feed the animals. Fishing for those visitors who purchase a park license. Obey. The park ranger's instructions at all times. Two bears and wolves never approach any other wildlife closer than 25 yards. Pets must be leashed. Yeah, at all times. Never leave your It is against the law to remove any natural objects or historical artifacts from the park. This includes even rocks. You obey. Find along the river. Or simple berries.
Okay. The thing is, like, some fights are mandatory and some aren't, and some that you must run away from, and it's quite difficult to tell which one's which until you, like, try. The light. Now I've reached the checkpoint.
Still on the Finnish culture, I mentioned the horror movie screenplay I wrote, Undertow, and Anderson Brothers, Tor and Odin being a part of that already. Now, that story is set in Finland, and yet we have Tor and Odin as Swedish-speaking Finns in there. Now, we never go into details in Alan Wake on their background, but they just might be Swedes, or they could actually be Finnish Swedes.
So, of course, the Andersons are definitely expanded upon because they're in the like Saga Anderson is in Alan Wake 2, and and there are people that claim to be her family. There's like, and that's clearly right at the start of the game.
In that last instant of consciousness, Rusty thought about Rose. He was older than she was. Rose was barely out of her teens, but she made him feel young and forget what a train wreck his long-dead marriage had been. He still wore the ring. He'd been waiting for her to tell him to take it off. Now she never would.
Okay, don't leave the hiking trail, got it.
Lover's Peak was at the far end of the nature trail.
But there's a cave right there. I want to go into the cave. It was a good idea to go into the cave. Side of the frequent bootlegger activity, but the prohibition. Shotgun. Yeah, I'm glad I replayed this before the because I know the plot, but like it's all the little details like Moonshine Cave that I would have forgotten. It's not like it's awful, like combat-wise. It's just not the best thing in the world. I did not realize I had picked that up. Let's go over there first. Oh, nice.
Nobody in Bright Falls seemed to know where Al was, but Rose, the waitress at the diner, had seen him. From what Barry could tell, Al pretty much fell off the face of the earth when he left the diner. Rose was just the kind of fan that Al hated, but she really tried to help. She was smart too, knew a lot about what was going on in the town, knew a lot about Al, even knew who Barry was. Barry liked her. That was no big surprise. When it came to women, Barry and Al rarely saw eye to eye.
Maybe I should take a route that doesn't take me through the haunted forest. Oh, he's got a fucking helmet on. There we go, we've reached the Great L1. Okay, I don't know why he's not doing things. It's the Great Old One, felled by lightning in 1937. Obviously, exceptionally tall Rocky Mountain Douglas fir was over 200 years ago old. According to local legends, it stretched beyond the stars. After it fell, it was measured to be 66 meters tall, nearly a record length. Obviously, a Great Old One is like a reference to Cthulhu, and you know, they're called Great Old Ones, aren't they? Here's the hiking trail. Alright, I believe this is you're supposed to run. Fuck. Ah. Maybe it's the opposite. Maybe I always try and run and running never works. Probably that. Also, I forgot to go up here. Alright, this is going to make it easier. Computer games. Or at least it saves there. Oh no, no! There we are. I'm pretty sure this is the hardest bit of the game. Alright. Used up all my good ammo getting there. Maybe you are supposed to run. Fuck. Well, now I feel silly for using up all my fucking ammo. Whatever. We have no bullets, but I'm sure we'll figure something out. Look, some bullets.
I turned the corner, afraid of what the flashlight's beam might reveal. Suddenly, a roughly painted symbol of a torch glowed in the light. Behind it, hidden by a rock, sat a battered metal trunk. It was here for a reason. Packed with supplies, batteries, flares, ammo. Things you need to make it through the darkness of the night. Something left behind by someone who knew what I knew, and more.
Bear alert. Hello, bed. Hello, bed. Hello, spooky dog. Pardon?
Agent Nightingale didn't want to be in Bright Falls. These little communities revolted him, and he didn't like the trees or the coffee. He now knew that impossible horrors lurked behind the storefronts and smiles. He desperately wanted to turn the car around and just drive until he passed out or ran out of road and booze. But he had a job to do. He had a rider to catch, at any cost. Oh god. Do we have more bullets? Oh, this isn't going to be easy. It might be just birds. It's been a while since we've had swooping birds. Look, a mountain. Oh, that's where we're going, isn't it? Oh no, spooky birds!